Hello everybody. So here's my gunslinger guide for PvP and PvE, and this is sort of what I like to focus on. Not saying that my way is going to be better, just saying this is what I find to be more successful for me and my playing style. If you guys have any doing something wrong, please mention it in the comments and we'll have a conversation about it. So here we go, right? This is my PvP build. As you can see, I focus on intellect and discipline. I don't care too much for strength. So for PvP, Young Hamkara Spine, you get the extra trip mine. That's kind of like a no-brainer at this point, right? Let's check out the perks here. Trip mine grenades. Okay, so great like Hunter nerf of 2016. Trip mines don't stick on people, but honestly, there's really no need to bitch because I found that if I hit you with a trip mine, it's not gonna stick on you. It'll bounce off you and land right in front of you, and you're still gonna take a hit. So, you know, whatever. One really cool thing with trip mines is you get to be a trapper. Like the Gunslingers' gunplay, their neutral game has always been great. They're gonna do. They can play different roles, and mine grenade really allows you to just seal areas up, bait people, things like that, right? So for jump, I always am a fan of the better control. Love it to death. For the super, I can see why you would want to use gunfighter, but use combustion. You're gonna notice that out of like every 100th or so golden gun kill, that splash damage would actually prime your next target. It very rarely comes into play, but I'd rather use combustion than gunfighter. It just gives like a very slight AoE effect that I really like, and it comes super in handy when you're doing like rift control. Now, I like using the incendiary blades. There's circle of life, which is great, and there's knife juggler, which is awesome. But me, I am not good with throwing knife. I goodness, I am not good with it. I only land very solid hits when I am at, like when I'm getting pressed hard is the only time I actually do well with the throwing knives, and I guess that's really the only time you want to do well with it, right? So I run incendiary grenade just because it adds the extra damage on there. I really like that. Now here I always focus on recovery over anything else. But in the Crucible, yeah, maybe focus on armor, maybe focus on agility if you'd like. But me personally, I focus on recovery because I want to get my health back as quick as possible. This right here, Scavenger, is a complete godsend. You don't understand. Like, go ahead and pick up like 3 or 4 ammo things or crates or just ammo on the ground, and you're gonna notice you're gonna have like I think about like anywhere from 3 to 5. If you pick up ammo like 3 to 5 times in succession, you're gonna notice you're gonna have your grenade or your melee like right then and there, which is awesome. Another good one is Gunslinger's Trance, but the problem with Gunslinger's Trance is in PvP, very rarely will you get an X1, and even rarer than that will you get an X2. And I think I could count on one hand how many times I've gotten an X3. So I kind of prefer the Scavenger. Now, Chain of Woe is great because even with an X1, you can take like a hand cannon and reload it just a wee bit quicker. And with an X2, it's just as great too. But again, X1 is kind of not too easy to get, but it's obtainable. It's very obtainable. X2 and X3 harder and harder respectively to achieve because you got to stack them up. Chain of Woe only lasts 8 seconds, so it's even harder to stack than the Gunslinger's Trance. Not really into Over the Horizon, and over here finally I am picking Gambler's Dagger. I like Gambler's Dagger even though I'm crap with the throwing knives. I do get an extra one, and that helps out my meta game, and that's awesome, right? Because I like focusing on the meta game, right? The meta game is anything and everything, not including your character super, your guardian super, right? Movement ability, such as like the Twilight Garrison's air support, or the shades that the Night Stalkers have, or increased movement speed, jumps, grenades, that, you know, melee, like that is the meta, you know, that's the meta game, so to speak. So I don't focus on the super because the super is gonna come regardless, right? So this is how I like building my gunslinger for PvP. Now for PvE, I do take a much different, radically different approach to things. Still focusing on intellect and discipline. As you can see, I'm a little over on the intellect. Usually I just like grab something that has intellect and discipline and just sort of, I guess, move the discipline over to take some of the intellect away. But again, there's no focus on strength whatsoever. I like using swarm grenades in PvE. Right away, like, just, you know, this is my PvE build, right? When I'm gonna run a strike or the raid or whatever, I focus on swarm grenade, better control, or triple jump. It's usually triple jump though. Here, I'm going for the Deadeye. Not for the accuracy, but for the extra damage. Those of you who have farmed the Grasp of Malak months ago, you have to just having the gunslinger there to take Omnigul down. That golden gun with the Celestial Nighthawk does tons of damage. Like, nobody can say no. It's definitely the boss killer, right? I still run Incendiary Grenade. Now, in PvE, most folks want to focus on armor. Me personally, I still focus on recovery. But if you want to focus on the armor, that's cool. I get it. At this point, I do take Gunslinger's Trance and Chain of Woe. I no longer want Scavenger, and I no longer want the extra dagger. I want the Chain of Woe. I want to reload quick, and I want to have just ridiculous amounts of stability, and that just makes me a better gunslinger. Like, the gunplay with Gunslinger, thanks to these two abilities, is just ridiculous. You know, like, any Warlock and any Titan can shoot that hand cannon. They're going to shoot it the same. You know, some are going to have more skill with it, some are going to have less skill with it, but for the most part, you aim to the head, you shoot, you reload. All of you are reloading at the same speed. The Gunslinger is very unique in that weapons are going to handle differently, and reload speeds are going to be different. That's why I think the Gunslinger is just such a fun and outstanding class to play. But anywho, I'm still sick here, so I'm going to let you guys go. If you like the video, man, shoot that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. It'll really help support the channel. If you have any criticism for us, throw that thing in the comment section, dude. Like, don't even feel bad about it. No rebuttals from us, you know? Let's have an adult conversation here. So take care, guys, and see you guys in Rise of Iron.